everyone, Randy here, and we're playing Farming Simulator 17 on the Hobbs Farm. Yes, back on the Hobbs Farm here again today. Internet connection seems to be a little bit on the iffy side here at the moment. So playing on Hobbs Farm to keep it safe. Otherwise, I was planning on doing another Texas episode here. But we got the Big Bud 747 lined up here with the John Deere DB120. I know it seems like a little bit maybe not quite right combination here, this big of a tractor, but yeah, I figured we needed an excuse to use the Big Bud, right? So, planting, I decided to go with sugar beets here. I don't know if we'll actually ever harvest these or not, because like I said, I do plan on wrapping up this series here pretty quick. But we'll plant them, and if we never get to harvesting them, well, I guess we never get to harvesting them. And we obviously do have all the sugar beet equipment to do it, so that's not going to be the issue. Let's get started planting. And we're planting field 10 here. Oh, that reminds me, before we actually get too into this, I was going to check the progress of the bunker last episode, and I believe I forgot. So, bunker is at 49%, so not quite there yet. And I think the other bunker's like 10% behind, so it's at like 40% probably or so. Oh, a little missing spot there. Oh, well. Terrible. Oh, let me some missing spots. Yeah, those might have appeared too after we blanketed it and compacted it. Anyway, back to Big Bud. We'll continue planting, like I said, field 10 here with sugar beets. And also, if there's anything else anybody else would like to see on this map before we wrap it up, like I said again, my intentions are once we finish selling the big bunker of silage over yonder, or at least attempting to anyway. I'm not going to say it's going to be possible, but we're at least going to give it an attempt. And I haven't really decided how yet. Haven't quite figured that out. Doing it with a loader doesn't seem like a good idea. I don't think that's going to work real well. It might. Again, a lot of people have suggested conveyor belts. Doesn't seem to me like that's going to work real well either, but I'm not sure on that. And the other option, I'm thinking maybe the Frazee, or snowblower, as some of you folks call it. Well, man, I guess I call it as well, the snowblower. And I know I keep getting questions as to what that actually is. Oh, I think, is it under miscellaneous? Yes, it is. The Frazee. The actual mod name itself is actually F-R-A-E-S-E. In the game here, it's just F-R-A-S-E. And it's also known as the milling machine. Thinking that actually might be our best bet for selling silage. But haven't totally settled on that one yet either. So yes, again, if folks have any good ideas for how you think we can sell the silage there, if conveyor belts would be the best, doing it with a loader, maybe 2 loaders. I'm not sure if that would work really well either, but... Or again, maybe just, like I said, setting up the Frazee there. Thinking maybe, you know, setting up a couple of Frazees, like 2 or 3 of them across the length of the bunker, or actually the width of the bunker there. And seeing if that would work. And then we could just have course play. You know, I don't know if we'd have to... No, I guess we could set it as a starting point. We'd set the starting point in front of the bunker there. And that would be the point where it would load from. The only problem is, as we get further back into the bunker, the Frazee would probably not reach. And we'd have to somehow work around that. I'm not sure how we'd work around that. And one problem with the conveyor belts as well, conveyor belts tend to be a little bit slow. It's kind of one reason I'm not super thrilled on that idea. And again, there is no sell point there, so any silage that's going to be sold needs to be transported somewhere. Probably Aaron's compost for starters, but Aaron's compost only holds so much before it is full, and we'll have to wait. And then also there is, what is the name of the other place here? Let's see what's here. Pay dirt. Pay dirt, Aaron's compost. Oh yeah, farm, shops, silage. Almost impossible to get course play to work with this one. It's actually needs to be backed down into a little spot. Actually, no, I guess we can go over there and look. Let's see, where's, yeah, farm shop. There's the farm shop. So yes, the sell point for the silage at the farm shop is right down here. So yeah, can you imagine trying to get course play to somehow get down here, back down here? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I suppose we could set up some sort of something that would overload into that, maybe. That's always an option. We might be able to think of something for that. Oh, and I might have to refill the seeder here as well. I just noticed that. Don't have a whole lot of fertilizer left in the seeder here. Oh, it reminds me, yes, this one takes the liquid fertilizer, doesn't it? So I can't bring the Ford Ranch out here. And we'll read a couple comments here in a moment. There might not be a whole lot of comments here because I was not able to upload yesterday's episode. So there's no new comments on the new video here yet. I did make one. Just I was not able to upload it for some reason. Alice was saying do the rivers map. At least that's my understanding of your comment anyway. I'm not sure what you mean by the rivers map. Daddy's Little Monster was saying, what do you mean that's totally possible to do a map with only big bud equipment? Nope, I'd have to disagree with that. I don't think you can do a map with just the big bud equipment DLC. For one major region, there's no harvesting equipment. You got tractors, you got cultivators, you got seeders, you got manure spreader, grain cart. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, plow. Yes, a couple plows as well. So, you know, a lot of heavy field work equipment, but no equipment for actually finishing the process, if that makes sense. You can definitely get the process started with Big Bud, kind of like what we're doing now here. And obviously, this is not the Big Bud Cedar, which actually, you know, that's a good idea. Maybe we should purchase the Big Bud Cedar. Or it's actually really not the Big Bud Cedar, it's the Great Plains Cedar here. Yes, that one right there, the Great Plains YP2425A. Probably give that a try sometime. That might be kind of fun. And then I do like the look of this cedar as well. But all equipment we can save for another map as well. We don't have to use it all on this map here. Oh, we just ran out of fertilizer. Or just ran out. We ran out a little bit back there. You know, I guess I might as well fold it up because we got to go back to the farm. Also, when folding this up, I really want you folks to listen to the sound of the tractor here. It's really cool when it loads down. Hope you folks could hear that there. I really like how Giants did that with the sound on it. You can really hear it bearing down there on that engine. We'll do it again here when we have to fold it back out. I know technically you're not supposed to be moving when you do it, but I just like the sound of the tractor when you do that, so. Oh, Susan was saying, do a Texas video. Yes. Well, unfortunately, like I said, having some technical difficulties with that at the moment. And then last episode probably will be the last Texas episode then, because like I said again, plan on switching over to county lines there for the next map. Nick was saying, wow, a PC player manually loading bales, not using an auto-load unload trailer. Good job. Well, sometimes you got to do it manually as well. For those of you who watch the videos, you obviously know I use the auto load trailer quite a bit, but it is fun to do it manually at times as well. It just takes time, and you know, the gimmicky physics are a bit annoying. To put it mildly. Let's put it mildly there. To say they're a bit annoying. There we go. You know, for example, there when we were making the mixed rations there, you know, trying to pick up 3 bales at a time, it just did not go well trying to do that. And there's really no reason, realistically speaking, it shouldn't have. You should be able to do that. Other than maybe they're heavy. That makes sense, obviously, but pretty sure that telehandler would have been able to handle at least 2 bales just fine. Should have been able to handle 3 as well, I would think. And, you know, it's not so much that the telehandler couldn't handle it in the game here, at least anyways. It was just the way the physics were acting that was causing the issue. Anyway, looking at the comments, I think that is actually all the comments here at this point. Like I said, wasn't able to upload the new video there, so obviously not much for new comments here yet. Okay, again, we can listen to the sound of the tractor here. Again, absolutely like what Giants did with that sound there. Sounds really good as it's bearing down. Unfortunately, you don't really get that sound with any other operation, though. Oh, shoot, this does not refertilize, does it, once it's planted? Oh, well. Yeah, you really don't get that sound otherwise with most of the rest of the equipment. It's only like when you unfold this particular planter out, it seems like it really strains the tractor. Otherwise, yeah, for the most part, nothing else really works this tractor too hard, unless it's like maybe Texas. You know, Texas Mac, for example, we're going up hills or through a mud hole. Anyway, this seems like a good point to remind anybody as well that would like to play multiplayer with us. Make sure you check out any one of my multiplayer videos there. Our past series there was Northwest Texas. Again, like I said, probably going to county lines there next, so that'll most likely be the next one, assuming it works on the server anyway. You know, it's one of the things you never really know. Put it up, start playing, it's like, ooh, this does not work. Need something different. But that is going to be the plan. County lines, and then we got Parker's Prairie on server 1. So again, for those of you not familiar with the multiplayer servers, we currently have 3 multiplayer servers. Server 1 is Parker's Prairie. That is a large 4X map. Server 2 is currently Northwest Texas, again with a plan to go to county lines. County lines, well, Texas was a 4X map, and going to county lines will also be a 4X map. And keep in mind, for server 2, we plan on keeping the Big Bud DLC. So if you want to join us on server 2, we still plan on using the Big Bud DLC. Now, server 1, on the other hand, does not have that. So, you know, if you don't have the Big Bud DLC, don't worry, you can still join us on server 1. Server 1 is definitely an excellent map as well. We've done 2 live streams on that now, I think. And at least at this point as well with the multiplayer videos, I intend on just keeping it to server 2 for recording. So whatever map we plan on doing on server 2, That's the map I'm going to be recording on. It seems like if I start doing, 2 multiplayer server episodes, it's going to get to be a little too much. If I do server 2, with County Lines, and then I go back to server 1 with Parker's Prairie, and then I go to single player here with Hobbs Farm. Seems like that'll be a little too much switching around. So I'm going to keep it to, or try to keep it to every other day there. Hobbs Farm, single player, currently Hobbs Farm, and then multiplayer, whatever, the multiplayer map on server 2 is. And then, of course, we have server 3 as well. Server 3 is our logging map currently. We have mentioned maybe putting like a mudding map on that. Maybe trying to get a couple of big rig trucks of some sorts. Dirt driving trucks, and just have some fun on there. Go crazy every now and then. Like you folks probably saw on the last episode there, or last live stream there on Parker's Prairie. I think we all had to have a little fun after, the big run of cows there in northwest Texas. And again, for those of you who have not seen that, we had 10,000 cows on northwest Texas. That was our goal. Wasn't sure if we were able to reach that or not, but we actually made that, and we actually made it, I'd say, a little bit quicker than what I thought we would as well. A little bit of a slow start, but once we got going, it picked up speed very quickly. Again, with the cows pretty much paying for themselves, once we started to get a fair number of them, the milk money started adding up. Ooh, and we ran out of seed too. That I can refill the King Ranch. Let's see if it's close by. We'll do that. No, I think this is not close by. We'll just drive the tractor back and refill it then. And yes, I know before anybody says anything, I think I mentioned this when we kind of started the episode here. You probably won't be planting with this tractor, at least not with this type of seeder anyway, and these tires on it. Probably won't be a real good idea. Probably be a little bit of a compaction issue going on here. Big bud with triples, although the triple wheels might not be so bad. I mean, obviously people do plant with big buds. There are actually videos on YouTube there you can check out if you're interested in seeing that. Some pretty cool footage of big buds actually in use. Obviously, most of the footage, by the way, is going to be of smaller big buds. There was only one big bud 747, which is now in a museum. But there are other sizes of big buds as well. And I know I've mentioned this before, but that seems to be something that confuses a lot of people. Big Bud was actually a tractor brand. It's not just a tractor. I know when everybody thinks of Big Bud, they just think of this tractor here, the 747. But it is actually a tractor brand, or was, I should say, actually. Not so much anymore, obviously. But yes, it was a tractor brand with all different sizes and series of tractors. I think mostly all geared towards heavy tillage equipment. And obviously with a lot of no-till now, it's not quite as popular, so that's probably what caused Big Bud to kind of go under a little bit. Oh, I wonder if we should grab some fertilizer while we're here. Actually might not hurt. It might be the one issue with this big DB120. It doesn't hold much. Really? There we go. Okay, back out to the field. And for those who are wondering, I know we mentioned we were going to put the DB120 on the multiplayer server. We did put it on the multiplayer server, but it seemed like it was causing some issues. At least that's what some people thought anyway. Not totally convinced it was causing the issues, but it does have a lot of errors on it, unfortunately. Mostly just a lot of silly errors. There are quite a few errors on this planner. Again, like I said, mostly all silly errors. Silly multiplayer errors. You know, stuff that, in my opinion, the mod authors should know better than to do, but oh well. Having a nice wide swath of tracks there. Okay, where do we leave off here again? Oh, right there. Okay. Knew it was in the middle of the field here somewhere. You know, it's too bad with that sound effect, they don't actually have it change the exhaust as well. That would definitely be a really cool feature there if the exhaust, you know, bunch of black smoke just started rolling out of it or something. That'd be a really cool touch. Okay, a couple more passes here, and we should have this field wrapped up. And that reminds me of something with this field as well. There's definitely an error with a hired worker planting this field. You get down to this corner here, and for some reason, the hired worker does not plant that corner of the field. He always turns around, probably, oh, I don't know, maybe probably about in here somewhere. He turns around and goes back the other way and leaves a large corner of that field unplanted. I don't know why the hired worker does that. I actually had the hired worker going there on field 3. I wasn't actually really playing the game. I just had, you know, the game up and I was doing some other stuff. And I was sitting in the tractor there with the hired worker going. And I just happened to catch out of the corner of my eye. All of a sudden, you know, Big Bud stops, turns around, you know, middle of the field. Well, actually, not even middle of the field. It was maybe actually about by the fuel tank icon there, maybe somewhere abouts in there. Hired worker stopped, turned around, and went back to the other end of the field, just leaving this huge, huge path of unplanted crop. You know, seems like something Giants definitely needs to address yet. We haven't really seen any updates from Giants lately, and they definitely have some major bugs in the game it feels like they need to squash yet. Namely, the hired workers. You know, again, I think I mentioned this when the game came out, or shortly thereafter. It seems like Giants tried to make the hired workers smarter, but in the process it made them much, much, much stupider, to put it quite bluntly. The hired workers just do some strange and weird things at times that, you know, really make me scratch my head. Like this field, for example. This is probably the last pass the hired worker will do, and then it'll miss that entire corner of the field over there, and I always have to go back and fix it. Same thing it was going to do there on field 3. It was pretty much going to miss whole 2 passes of unplanted. So, you know, 3/4 of the way down the field, 2 passes unplanted. Just decided, oh, it's going to turn around here and go back the other way. Why is the hired worker doing that? You know, there's no object that I know of in the way there. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing there that I know of. Like I say, it's a big, wide, open field. And again, for those of you not familiar with a frazee, that's actually what's sitting in the grass over there, that green and yellow thing. That is a frazee sitting there. And that's kind of what I'm thinking for selling the silage. Might be the best bet there. Okay, just noticed something here as well, looking at the tire tracks. Anybody else notice the tire tracks on the... Let's see, this would be the right-hand side. They're actually left-hand if you're facing it this way, I guess. But yes, anybody notice the difference between the 2 inner tracks and the outer tracks? Again, I just noticed this. I was just looking at this from the top view here. The other side looks like they're all the same, but anybody notice the outer... on the again, this would be the right-hand side now. You know, if we're facing this way, the left-hand side. That is weird. Why are the tire tracks, like, closer together? Rather interesting. I mean, I can assume a reason here that the tires are out of sync, maybe. Which would make total sense, but it's just weird that the other 5 sets are in sync with each other. Let's see, can we tell? Can't really see the tracks from the outer ones that well. But yes, I'm guessing that has to be what's going on there. Oh wait, now they are actually... Are they in sync now? Nope, definitely not. Interesting. Anyway, I think we'll make this the last pass here. I won't bother planting that narrow little strip there. We'll call that good enough. So that's not too bad for a episode's work here, I don't think. Planting the entirety of field 10 here with the Big Bud 747 and, of course, the John Deere DB 120. That's 120 feet of planting width, by the way, for those of you wondering. Nominal 30-inch row spacing. For a total of 48 rows. So anyway, with that, you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.